Your favorite Tuesday night shows will return next week at their regularly scheduled time.
That's great.
I'm in love with it.
Now stay tuned for the World Series. Thursday, Cosby's determined to make Theo a football.
From Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, California, NBC Sports presents the 1984 World Series between the Detroit Tigers and the San Diego Padres. This was Sunday. Bedlam in this city by the border. San Diego's miracle comeback against the Chicago Cubs that put the Padres into the series against the Detroit Tigers. Hi, I'm Vin Scully. It wasn't always that way. It wasn't always a baseball game played before 58,000 people with lights atop the stadiums, with television cameras and media from all across the country and around the world interested in the outcome of the World Series. No, it was not that way at all. In the beginning, and for any good story, there's always a beginning, you have to go back to horse and buggy days, when there was a game, but it was a small game known to only a few. In fact, you have to go all the way back to 1903.
It was late September, and as the season turned, a nation's thoughts turned to baseball.
Old feud continues.
The years old, running with dynamite.
Them bean eaters from Boston wouldn't stand a chance against our champs anyway.
Not a prayer, Barney.
Don't write the news before it's made, Mr. Dreyfus, sir.
Don't think they really could beat us, do you?
Nah.
What do you mean?
This is
You really think you're going to beat the national champions?
We're only 3 years old. They've been around for a quarter century. I still think our boys can beat them.
And, of course, it could be marvelous for both teams, where the tickets would be set at 50 cents, and the visiting club could be given a quarter on every ticket sold.
Can't we stop all this constant baseball talk?
This isn't baseball talk, my dear. This is money talk.
Hey,
Deacon, you guys are better than Boston bums, right?
I don't know. I hear that Cy Young fella is about the best pitcher there is.
Stop. Here you might be starting.
Yep.
Most important thing is to beat those guys. We'll get them, Cy.
What are you going to call these games anyway? Why, it's the national championship, of course.
Excuse me, Mr. Dreyfus, it's more than that. This series of games will determine the best baseball team in the world.
Come on, this guy's no bad. Let's go, come on.
I never got to see this. Yeah? Come on, get it over the plate.
It took 8 games, but the upstart Boston Puritans beat the established Pittsburgh Pirates in 1903, and the World Series was born. For 81 years, the series has determined where the championship flag will fly. And now, this American tradition continues.
Barney Dreyfus, the owner of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Cy Young, a name who has tumbled down the corridors of time all the way to the present, to names like Alan Trammell and Jack Morris, and names like Mark Thurman and Goose Gossett. Right now, here's Bob Costas.
All right, Vin, in the twilight of Jack Murphy Stadium, the Padres will go with left-hander Mark Thurman, 14-8 for the year, the loser of Game 2 in the playoffs against the Cubs. The Tigers counter with right-hander Jack Morris, 19-11 for the season, the Game 1 winner in the playoffs at Kansas City. The Padres, all told, will use 4 starters. The Tigers will stick with a 3-man rotation, Morris, Petrie, and Wilcox. Now, Detroit won 104 games this year, but even more impressively, in games started by their big 3, they were 74-31. It's a series of contrasts, the new against the old. For the Padres, of course, this is their first World Series appearance. The last time the Tigers appeared in the Fall Classic was 1968, the year before the Padres came into existence. And to find Detroit's first World Series appearance, you have to go all the way back to 1907. They were led then by a gentleman named Ty Cobb. We'll return to talk to the managers in just a moment. The World Series pregame show is brought to you by Federal Express. Why fool around with anyone else? And by North American Van Lines, a real true value in moving.
Which computer company is making more room in the computer room? A company with the technology to build a computer system that's more powerful and more reliable than its older cousins, but a whole lot smaller. That company is NCR.
Hello? Your new computer's here.
Their computer's everything the big computers were, except big. Innovative computer technology. You can expect it from NCR.
Going freewheeling, it's my lucky day. Going freewheeling, come on out and play.
Do you know why Honda makes 9 different kinds of easy-to-ride three-wheelers?
Going freewheeling, got the Honda ACC.
So your family can have 100 different kinds of fun.
Going freewheeling.
Armstrong, send this barbell to Pittsburgh by Federal Express. Yes, Mr. Atlas. Hi, girls. Does Federal carry something this heavy, Bull?
Gee, I don't know. Hey, Brutus, check the rate book. I think it's under the safe. Sure thing, Bull.
A lot of people think Federal Express carries only itty-bitty packages. They carry the big stuff, too, all the way up to 150 pounds. Federal Express. Why fool around with anyone else?
The first pitch is just a few minutes away. Jack Morris against Mark Thurmond, and with us, Sparky Anderson, the manager of the Tigers. Sparky, your club won 104 this year, dominated the American League East, a tough division. Is it too early to begin comparing the '84 Tigers with the Cincinnati clubs you had in the '70s?
Yeah, Bobby, because, that was 9 years, and those guys averaged 96 victories a year. When you ask the club to do that, that's an awful lot of wins. We've averaged 98 with 92 last year and 104 this year for 2 years. If we go 7 more years and keep the pace, then we'll sit down and compare them.
You faced Dick Williams in a World Series before. In 1972, his Oakland A's beat the Reds in 7. Is Sparky Anderson any different 12 years later?
I'm saying older, uglier, but the same. Got more wrinkles now, Bobby. But, no, I really felt that Dick was a great series, and I felt that he outmanaged me because 6 of the games were decided by 1 run, and they beat us 4 games to 3. So that was enough evidence for me that I just got lost in the shuffle somewhere.
Sparky, thank you. Good luck.
Oh, thank you, Bobby.
Now, the Detroit Tigers broke from the gate at 35-5 this year. They established early that they were the best club in the American League. For the San Diego Padres, it was a different story. Here's Len Berman.
Thank you, Bob. 5 years ago, Sparky Anderson talked of winning a pennant in 5 years, and it happened. But here in San Diego, they had a 5-year plan of their own. Not too many people knew about it. Those who did were skeptical, but nobody's laughing now. Sunday, October 7th, 1984. A date that will live forever in the memories of San Diego Padre fans. The Padres were National League champions. Not bad for a team that played in a town that is best known for a zoo. In fact, there were times early in the team's history when it was hard to tell which was which. Who could have foreseen that tigers would be the prime attraction in town today? The fans did come to the ballpark for lots of reasons, but rarely to see winning baseball. Until '84, they never finished higher than 4th. In 15 years, they finished a combined 417.5 games out. Their 1980 highlight film was 12 minutes long. Their late owner, Ray Kroc, went on the loudspeaker after a loss and announced to the crowd, "That was the worst exhibition of baseball I have ever seen." They did have some fine players: Randy Jones, Raleigh Fingers, Gaylord Perry, Dave Winfield, and Ozzie Smith, who made this remarkable play in 1978. But their best-known performer for years was a chicken.
Say, that's a good-looking watch you got there. Oh, thanks, Jack. Trade you a box of my best cigars for it.
No thanks.
Personally autographed baseball? Jack, make it 2.
So enter Jack McKeon as vice president. Trader Jack. An 11-player deal that brought catcher Terry Kennedy. He got Greg Nettles and free agent Steve Garvey and Goose Gossage.
It was a 5-year plan, and hopefully that we could be in a position to contend by the year 1985.
It really was a 5. I mean, I've heard that line so often, I don't really believe it.
I can take you up my office and show you.
And shrewd drafting. The San Diego Clippers drafted Tony Gwynn out of San Diego State for the NBA. But Jack McKeon also drafted and signed him for the Padres. This year, he was the Majors' top hitter. If there's one moment that stands out from the Padres' regular season, ironically, it's the brawl in Atlanta. The players felt it brought them together. They had been in first place every day since June 9th, but now they would not be intimidated by anybody. They had finally emerged from the shadow of the zoo. After all, they have caged the Cubs, and now they have some definite plans for the Tigers as well. And joining me now is Padres manager Dick Williams. Dick, what's the mood of your club? I would imagine some of them may be happy just to be in a World Series.
They're elated after surviving the 5-game series against the Cubs. We're happy to be here. It was an unbelievable experience being down 2 games to nothing, then coming here, and our fans rallied us. If anybody said they didn't, they're wrong. They just got behind us and support us all the way, and well, here we are. We're going to face the team that had the best win-loss record in both major leagues this year, and we have our hands full.
Dick, Sparky Anderson said a few minutes ago he thought you outmanaged him 12 years ago. Do you view World Series in those terms, Sparky versus Dick?
Absolutely not. I do know one thing, and that shows we've had longevity, or else been with some very good ball clubs. Whoever wins this one, the manager of that club will be the first one to win a championship in both leagues. And if it's Sparky, I'm happy for him. If it's me, I'm thankful to my players. But as far as out-managing anybody, no, that's not right, and Sparky knows it. We both came up in the same organization, the Brooklyn Dodgers. We both learned our baseball the same way. We were both utility players, and he's dedicated, I'm dedicated, and there should be a good series. But out-managing, no. The players are the ones that play the game, man.
Okay, thank you, Dick. Congratulations. Best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, our World Series pregame report will continue in just a minute.
Attention to details made North American Van Lines the moving company thousands of American families choose. And today, North American offers you expert moving service and a great moving value. Savings at True Value hardware stores. Call your North American agent for an interstate moving survey and get this savings book worth 25% off these popular products at participating True Value hardware stores nationwide. Now you can make your new house a home. Go North American, a real True Value in moving.
Hold on! Can anyone here name a copier maker that's bigger than Ricoh?
Xerox.
Ricoh's bigger.
IBM?
Ricoh's bigger.
And we got to be bigger than Xerox by making a full line of copiers that win top marks for quality, like this Ricoh 6080 console copier.
What a revelation.
Now, are you still overlooking Ricoh and the Ricoh 6080? Call Ricoh. We respond.
You know, great deeds are always magnified when they're performed in a World Series. Bill Mazeroski, for example, was an all-star second baseman throughout his career with the Pirates. But the image of Mazeroski which remains with us is that of him rounding the bases after his homer beat the Yankees in the 1960 series. Yeah, whether you're a star or a journeyman, when fate takes your hand in the Fall Classic, it ensures a certain kind of immortality.
1947, Joe DiMaggio could have been the hero again. Instead, it was Al Gianfrido's sole moment in baseball's sun. 1955, Sandy Amaro steps from the shadows into the spotlight, saving Brooklyn's only world championship. Game 4, 1969, and for an instant, Hall of Fame talents Seaver and Robinson are mere bit players, because this scene belongs to Ron Swoboda. And then there is Don Larson. One day, smack in the middle of an otherwise undistinguished career, he was nothing less than perfect. Now, 28 years later, Larson finds himself at a baseball card show in Sacramento. That one day in 1956, the difference between obscurity and legend.
You don't get tired of something, you know, that everybody's entitled to a good day, you know, in one form or another. Oh, it was a lot of fun. It was. It really was. It seemed like it was yesterday. I hope I don't wake up. When I came to the game that day and there was a ball in my locker, You know, that, of course, Eddie used to put the balls in the locker, and there was a starting pitcher, and I was sort of surprised, you know, being the lousy start I had in the second game. During the game, you know, probably the hardest hit ball was Jackie Robinson leading off the second inning. Andy Carey got his glove on the ball, knocked it down, rode to McDougal, and Gill threw him out at first. The first hit of the ball game was Mickey's home run, and he only gave us 5 hits.
For Mantle, that blast off Brooklyn's Sal Magley was just one of a record 18 World Series home runs. One of countless highlights along the road to the Hall of Fame. For the great ones like Mantle or the Giants' Willie Mays, the World Series is a showcase, a confirmation of greatness. A Reggie Jackson clouts 3 home runs in the last game in 1977, and it serves as a kind of exclamation point in a career full of memories. But for a sub-500 lifetime pitcher like Don Larson, the whole story was written on October 8th, 1956.
Don't ask me why that ever happened to me, because I still sometimes can't realize it ever happened. The most exciting thing I probably got was Yogi jumping on me, and I was happy enough, but I thought my mind probably went blank when Yogi hit me. I probably really haven't woke up yet. Hope I never do.
Larson is ready, gets the sign. 2 strikes, ball 1. Here comes the pitch. Strike 3. A no-hitter, a perfect game for Don Larson. A no-hitter, a perfect game for Don Larson. A perfect game for Don Larson.
World Series memories. More awaiting now in 1984. Vin Scully and Joe Garagiola will join us right after we return to New York and NBC News, so stay with us.
This is NBC News Digest, sponsored by Hi-Pro brand dog food. Here is Tom Brokaw, NBC News.
Good evening. Social Security benefits symbolize the latest campaign controversy. President Reagan today ruled out any present or future benefit cuts, but Walter Mondale said he's made that promise before and didn't keep his word. Salvadoran rebels today accepted President Duarte's peace talk invitation, but one left-wing leader said that does not mean that they will lay down their arms. Now this.
My dog's healthy and it shows 'cause he's got the Hi-Pro Glow. Healthy Hi-Pro Glow, energy, the Hi-Pro Glow.
Purina brand Hi-Pro dog meal.
4 Armenian immigrants were found guilty today of plotting to blow up the Turkish consulate in Philadelphia in 1982. They'll be sentenced in December. And the Los Angeles City Council today tentatively approved smoking restrictions in workplaces with more than 4 employees. I'm Tom Brokaw in New York. More news later on this NBC station.
Thursday, Cosby's determined to make Theo a football star.
Mistake number 1.
But first, he's got to teach him the game.
But that could take weeks.
Years. Then on Family Ties,
Buy you a drink?
Jennifer tries to compete with Mallory for an older boy's attention.
I'm not a little girl. Wait on my bike.
Thursday.
First National Bank, far and away southern New Mexico's banking leader. The more you look for in a bank, the better we'll look. First National Bank of Doña Ana County.
To start the 1985 model year off right, here's what Rudolph Chevrolet has for you. Choose from more than 100 great Chevrolet cars and trucks. And right off the bat, get a discount of up to $2,500, plus a cash rebate of up to $1,000. Choose from Caprices, pickups, Suburban, Celebrities, plus many other models. And get up to $2,500 off the sticker price and up to a $1,000 cash rebate. A new model year has never had a better start for you at Rudolph Chevrolet.
Bruce Forsyth guest stars on the Muppets tonight at 9:30 on the Fine Nine.
NBC Sports presents the 1984 World Series. Tonight, Game 1, the Detroit Tigers versus the San Diego Padres. Brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Light Beer from Miller, an official beer sponsor of Major League Baseball. By Actra from Gillette, the essence of shaving. And by Epson, one of the oldest new names in computers and computer printers.
Let it.
Tenneco is a leading oil and gas producer. Tenneco is America's most successful shipyard. Tenneco is America's best-selling shock absorber. Tenneco is the world's best-selling backhoe. Tenneco is one of America's largest natural gas pipelines. The Tenneco family, building on quality.
Suspense. Intrigue. Drama. Adventure. Action. Spills. Thrills. Chills. Excitement. All this and more from 1984. Baseball fever. Did you catch it?
The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball.